Take a look at the person next to you and say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Unity of Springfield. We're going to start our service today in the Blue Book, number 3, Blessing to the World. Thank you, Charnel and Alyssa. Well, as a part of our connection to the greater unity movement, we connect and hold individual ministries in prayer each week. This week we hold all the ministries in the state of New Jersey in prayer. So let us go within in prayer for a moment. We go into our hearts. We go into that place and that space and that feeling of divine love as we hold all the people in New Jersey and beyond around this world. We see this blessing of love touching all, providing all with a sense of sustenance, of blessing, and good outcomes. We especially hold in our hearts our military servicemen and women. And we are grateful and give thanks. So it is. Amen. Now I'd like to invite our platform assistant, Bill Shepard, to come up and take us through the announcements.
Morning. We're so glad that you are here to share this morning with us, and we extend a special welcome to those of you visiting us for the first time. On your way in today, you should have received a welcome packet. We also have a gift for you, so please see one of our greeters after today's service. Unity is a worldwide spiritual movement. We are an inclusive community and welcome all people. Today is Birthday Sunday. We invite those with March birthdays to stand, and we will sing the birthday song for you. Happy birthday to you. I have a few announcements to share with you this morning. Join us today after the service in Margaret Kane Hall for our monthly fellowship potluck and birthday celebration. There will be 2 opportunities to attend a 1-hour membership orientation facilitated by Reverend Alden. First one is today at 12:30 after the potluck, and on Wednesday, March 4th at 6:30 p.m. This class is required by all who wish to become voting members of Unity of Springfield. Registration is required. You can sign up in either the lobby or Margaret Kane Hall. Our Unity book sale is going on through the end of March in Margaret Kane Hall. So browse books during the fellowship today, and sales are on a love offering basis. Reiki treatments will be offered after the potluck today in the Reiki room. Use the sign-up sheet located in the foyer to ask any one of our Reiki practitioners wearing an orange lanyard to receive a free 10 to 15 minute treatment. If you are number 1 and 2 on the sign-up sheet, go to the Reiki room after the potluck to begin your treatment. Other participants, please continue to enjoy fellowship in Margaret Kane Hall until you are called by one of the practitioners. The 9 a.m. spiritual class on Sundays is currently studying the book Hell in the Hallway, Light at the Door by Ellen Davenport. Books are available at our bookstore, so pick one up, read a few chapters, and join us. Everyone is invited to join our new Mindful, Peaceful Prayer Circle on Monday from 3 o'clock to 4 p.m. We will gather in the youth room and on Zoom to take a collective breath and a deep exhale of renewal, connecting with one another in loving kindness to bring more peace to our world. Wednesday at 5:30, Karen Kelly will lead the gathering meditation via Zoom, creating a sacred space for quiet, introspective meditation. Reverend Alden is facilitating a 6-week course for Lenten, which starts on February 18th and goes through March 25th on Wednesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. The class is based on the Unity booklet, Release and Reimagine, Lent 2026. available free of charge in the bookstore. Look for details in Monday's email update. You are invited to participate in the monthly Healing Crystal Bowl meditation with Peggy Patty on Thursday, March 5th at 6 p.m. Immerse yourself in the soothing, healing vibrations as we send harmony, peace, and balance into our community and our world. A suggested love offering is $15. Reminder about the upcoming change next Sunday, March 8th. Set your clock forward 1 hour. All are welcome to join in the Flute Circle with David Tell on Thursday, March 12th at 1 o'clock, which is held in the sanctuary. And of course, beginners are encouraged to come as well. Save the date. Community building has been postponed workshop on Saturday, March 21st. We have special services lined up for Easter week, starting with Palm Sunday on March 29th, a spiritual communion service on Wednesday, April 1st at 6:30. Good Friday meditation service, April 3rd at noon, and Easter Sunday celebration for the whole family on April 5th. Emails are sent out weekly that have information on current happenings and how to join in events. To sign up for our emails, ask a greeter for a yellow card to fill out or visit our website to subscribe. Also, check out our website for up-to-date information at unityofspringfield.org. We would like to give special thanks to Unity's financial team, led by Board Treasurer Ron Haverdick. We appreciate how you apply Unity prosperity principles through sound financial planning, investments, and decision-making. Creating our lives and our world through thoughts and beliefs we hold in mind is a spiritual principle we practice at Unity of Springfield. And we also know this truth together: there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. Our vision statement: a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our mission statement: we recognize God is love, it delights in all people. Therefore, we provide a positive environment for spiritual growth that empowers all to be God's love in the world. Our youth and family ministry affirmation: our youth and family ministry empowers the next generation with loving kindness and acceptance, creating a safe, sacred space for children, teens, and young adults to explore, discover, and experience spirituality. And now Linda Canner will read today's daily word.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Our word for today is illumination. I walk with faith along the path of light. When someone gets a flash of insight or makes a sudden realization, it is often said that a light bulb has gone off. It's no surprise that growing in understanding is likened to light, which brings brightness and clarity to what was once obscured by darkness. I am grateful for the illumination I have received as I have traveled the divine path. My spiritual growth may not always be easy, and I will never stop learning and discovering. But there is such value in the journey itself. those moments I feel newly close to God, those times when the divine within helps me make a better choice in those precious flashes of pure love and light. I welcome my ongoing illumination, knowing the light I seek is already within me. From Psalms 18, verse 28, it is you who light my lamp. The Lord, my God, lights up my darkness. Again, our word for today, Sunday, March 1st, 2026, is illumination. And if you'll join me in the affirmation, I walk with faith along the path of life. Before we hear today's meditation and message from Reverend Alden, he will perform some special music for us.
Well, today's special music is going to be performed by an artist that was shared with me by a colleague. If you frequent our Facebook page, you'll see a lot of positive affirmations from someone named Reverend Mary Ellen Schwartz. She's a retired Unity minister from Tucson, and she sent me this song that was just written recently, and I think it really speaks to the heart and speaks to everything going on in our world today. And so we're going to play this. Here we go. And it's called Be Now Our Vision.
Be now our vision, oh love that makes whole, light of the world and the fire of the soul. Call us from comfort when truth is denied. Send us in courage to stand on love's side.
Be now our wisdom, our truth in the fray, leading with kindness and guiding our way, not only in words but in all that we do. May our love become action, faithful and true.
Be now our courage when justice is hard, unmasking powers that wealth often guards, standing with people the world hates and scorns, trusting in goodness where new hope is born. Be now our peace when the world is at war, mending all our hearts from deepest of scars. Teach us all how to forgive and to fight with only the weapons justice and mercy will never
Yeah. Well, right now we have an opportunity to take all that we've heard and experience it within ourselves. So we enter now into this time of meditation with anticipation, with openness, and a willingness to be in the flow of divine love. So let us close our eyes and feel ourselves relaxing in our seats or wherever we're experiencing this time of meditation right now. We relax, we let go, and we tune into the flow of our breathing, consciously breathing in deep breaths and releasing these breaths, a flow of breathing into our hearts, into our awareness, pure love, pure energy, and pure joy, and releasing fear, confusion, and heartache. And as we continue in this flow of conscious breathing, of conscious attunement, we feel ourselves becoming free. Free of all those thoughts and emotions and beliefs that do not serve our good or the good of this world. We let them go. We release them. And we move on. And we move on more deeply into that heart of God that is within every person. And it doesn't matter what we call God. There are many names. But it is the experience of the one and only source of the universe. It is something that we feel and that we sense that seems even more real than everything else in our lives. But the minute we try to label it or describe it, we run out of words. The presence and power of Spirit, of God, of our higher power is beyond every word we can think of. But we know it when we feel it. And what we feel is a sense of all rightness. What we feel is a calmness and a surety. No matter what's going on right here in this part of the world or elsewhere. When we feel connected to this flow of energy and life and spirit, we feel empowered in a way that says to us, to our goals, to our objectives in life, yes, this is possible. This is unfolding. This is in the process of materializing in our lives. This good. Each one of us is a channel, a conduit through which this one source, one power, this one energy is flowing in abundance, is flowing with creativity, is flowing with blessings for ourselves and everyone in our lives. This is the reality. This is the truth. This is who we are. And so let us, for the next couple of minutes, just sit quietly, peacefully, with an openness and a receptivity to this flow of energy, this flow of love, for a moment in the silence. And we now emerge from this time of meditation, feeling the power of divine love flowing through our hearts as we move into the activities of our lives. It is this application, this program, this experience that guides us every step of the way in our journey forward. And for this knowing, this awareness, and this understanding, we are grateful for this time of meditation and inner reflection. And we give thanks in the name and through the power and through the nature of the living Christ's presence within us all. And so it is. Amen. Before I get into my talk, I need to mention there's one more announcement. Those of you who are part of the community meals team, There is a meeting today during the potluck, so get your food. I think they'll be heading back into the room. It's called by a lot of names: meditation room, board room, classroom, the room back there. So anyway, and thank you to everybody who makes our service possible. And today we have Charnel and Alyssa leading our music. There they are right together. Thank you. And also to Bill and Linda, who were on our platform today, to Shelley and Danny back in the tech booth, to Ruth and Carol, who are greeters today, Chris Farashon, our administrative director in Cincinnati. Welcome to everybody on YouTube and Facebook today. Before I get into my talk, I want to share a little bit about something that's available to all of us. And if we missed coming to the open mic that was about a week or so ago, it was on a Saturday night, I got to tell you, that was one heck of an experience in here. We had about, I counted almost 40 people who came, who were both participants in sharing their music as well as those who attended. And it was quite an eclectic array of musical genres, I guess I would put it that way, of all kinds. And during the event, I went around with my mobile phone and took clips of people doing different musical things, which are now on our Facebook page, also on Instagram. And I just want to play one little clip right now of the Layabouts ukulele band. And if you wore a shirt like mine, you'd fit right into this song. So if you go to our Facebook page, or if you're more on Instagram, there are 18 of these clips of everybody who participated, except for my song, because I couldn't take a video of myself. So but that's okay. That's okay. So Layabouts and many other artists, including our own Dave Tell and Tim Hennebrey, are also on Facebook. So check it out. And so we move on into the fourth week of this series called Wisdom of Women from the Bible. Now, last Sunday, we looked at Deborah. And Deborah, a very powerful, a very strong leader person who represents the judgment of spiritual discrimination, which is a quality that all leaders ideally possess. Politicians, military, if you're the CEO of a company, if you're the parent of your own corporation with your kids, you definitely have learned this quality of being very Deborah-like. It's a quality that is within us. We all have that capability to be inspired, to be sure of ourselves, and to face tough issues square on, which is what Deborah did in the story in the Bible, Book of Judges. But today, we're going to shift from Deborah to a very different role model. Not so much Xena, warrior princess, but to somebody a little softer, a little quieter, someone who exhibited spiritual strength with grace, with love, with devotion. And as much as we need Deborah operating within us, we also need the qualities of our subject today working within us, and that is Ruth. Ruth. You know, it's very interesting that some very significant people in the Bible, in the Hebrew Bible, Abraham, Moses, David, are considered paramount to knowing what Judaism is about, to knowing the history of the Israelite people. None of them have a book of the Bible named after them. None of them. Ruth does. And our subject next week, Esther, also does. Interesting, isn't it? Now, the book of Ruth is not a particularly long book. It's an easy read, 4 chapters. But it remains today, 3,000 years later, a significant story. What's also very interesting about Ruth is that she wasn't a Jew. She wasn't an Israelite. She was a Moabite. You're thinking, well, what's a Moabite? Well, at that time, and we're talking, 3,000 years ago, the Moabites were aggressors of Israel. You read in the book of Judges, they're mentioned quite a bit. And Ehud, an Israelite judge, drove out the Moabites, killed lots of them, brutally murdered the king of the Moabites, Eglon. So would you think that a fairly obscure woman from Moab would end up with her own book in the Hebrew Bible? Especially since it all happens right around the same time. But I think when we read the story, we can start to understand why it's so important. Because Ruth helps us transcend any possible animosities that might exist around Moabites and Israelites. Let me set the stage for you. The story begins with Ruth's future mother-in-law, Naomi. And so Naomi married, see if I can pronounce this name correctly, Elimelech. Not your everyday name. And they're from Bethlehem. That's a pretty familiar place to most of us. And what happened, there was a famine in Bethlehem. They always seem to have a lot of famines in the Bible. Have you ever noticed that? And so Naomi and her husband and her 2 sons, by then they had a couple of kids, they moved out of Bethlehem. And where did they go? Moab. Apparently Moab had food. Where's Moab? You don't hear about Moab today. Well, it's not called that today, but it's a part of the southwest corner of present-day Jordan, across the Jordan River, across the Dead Sea. It's over there. And so they moved there. And now politically, it doesn't always make a lot of sense why they would go there, considering the history of the Moabite people with the Israelite people, but it made sense geographically because it wasn't too far away, and they were hungry, and they didn't want to travel far. They didn't have cars back then, and if you're lucky, I had a what? A donkey. They probably walked there. So here they are, going to Moab, because you got to eat. And so the family moved to Moab, and their sons married Moabite women. And here are the Moabite women. Well, one of them's name was Orpah, not to be confused with Oprah, Orpah. And the other one was Ruth. Orpah and Ruth. So the sons of Naomi and Elimelech married Orpah and Ruth. Everybody got that? Okay. But things didn't work out so well in Moab. Naomi's husband died, as did her 2 sons. Now, you don't know what happened. Was it the food wasn't so good, the water wasn't so good, the climate wasn't so good, but they died. And there had to be some choices made, because here were 3 husbandless women. Now, that's not always an issue in our society today, but back then that was a big deal. Didn't have much. So, these women didn't have the kind of status, the kind of value that could come for them if they were attached to a man. Those were the times. Thankfully, times have changed. But what happened is that the famine in Judah, where they came from, in Bethlehem, eased off, and Naomi decided she was going to go back. And she was going to go back with her daughters-in-law. But on the way, Naomi said to them, as they're walking, in that direction, okay? She says to them, go back to Moab. That's your home. Go back to your mother. Not me, I'm your mother-in-law. Go back to them. And they both said, no, we will return with you to your people. And again, Naomi pleaded with them to return. And so we read, but Naomi replied, why should you go on with me? Can I still give birth to other sons who would grow up to be your husbands? That's interesting. No, my daughters, return to your parents' home, for I am too old to marry again. And even if it were possible and I were to get married tonight and bear sons, then what? Would you wait for them to grow up and refuse to marry someone else? No, of course not. My daughters, things are far more bitter for me than for you, because the Lord himself has raised his fist against me. Well, she's got some issues to work through, doesn't she? And then they wept together, and Orpah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye, and Ruth clung to Naomi. Look, Naomi said to her, your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and to her gods. You should do the same. But Ruth replied, don't ask me to leave you and turn back. Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Wherever you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord punish me severely if I allow anything but death to separate us. That's serious. Well, when Naomi saw that Ruth was determined to go with her, she said nothing more. So the 2 of them continued on their journey, and when they came to Bethlehem, the entire town was excited by their arrival. Is it really Naomi? The women asked. Well, don't call me Naomi, she responded, and instead called me Mara, for the Almighty has made life very bitter for me. Apparently, Mara means bitter. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me home empty. Why call me Naomi when the Lord has caused me to suffer, and the Almighty has sent such tragedy upon me? So Naomi returned to Moab, accompanied by her daughter-in-law Ruth, the young Moabite woman, and they arrived in Bethlehem in the late spring at the beginning of the barley harvest. We can now begin to see Ruth emerging in this scene, her unselfless devotion. Her willing to give up and sacrifice her sense of ego, her sense of ambition, her whatever. And nothing changes in her devotion and her support of her mother-in-law. She herself is grieving the loss of her husband, but she deals with it and turns her attention to Naomi. How many of us would be that devoted in a similar situation? I don't know. That unselfish? I don't know. Especially with a mother-in-law so embittered about her life, like Naomi. Not a fun person to be around. But Ruth's unwavering devotion is very exceptional, given this fact. So Orpah went back to Moab. Ruth and Naomi went to Judah. And they had to eat. They didn't have a man to support them, so they started gleaning in the fields. They started looking for what's left over that the harvesters didn't get. And so here's Ruth out there kind of, leaning in a field that was held by a relative of Naomi's by the name of Boaz. And Boaz notices her out there kind of collecting, kind of little leftovers. He notices her. He wonders, who is this? And the foreman tells him who it is. And so they begin talking with each other. Well, of course, Ruth at this point is worried about, I'm in this guy's field gleaning the extra stuff. And Boaz says, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. He kind of takes a shine to her, which makes her gleaning process easier, and invites her to eat with him and gives her some decent grain, a whole bunch. And Ruth goes back to Naomi and tells her all about Boaz, and Naomi gets all excited. And she tells Ruth, get all dressed up when you go see Boaz next time. And so she does. And there's this interesting scene on the threshing room floor between Boaz and Ruth. It's not rated R or anything. You can read it. Your kids could read it. She just lays at the feet of Boaz while he's sleeping on the threshing room floor, and he wakes up and he's kind of startled to find Ruth still there. Remember, Ruth's very devoted. But he starts taking a real shine to her. He's like an older guy, but, whatever. Well, apparently there was a custom back then that the closest kin had first right of refusal of taking a bride from the family, right? So he tells her to stay there, and he gets this other cousin and convinces him to give up his right to Ruth. And, this is one of those nice ending stories, happy ending stories. He ends up marrying Ruth. And they have a son named Obed. And Naomi gets to sort of wet nurse this son. People actually begin to think it's her kid. So that kind of restored her sense of self-worth. She had a lot of issues with self-worth. The most interesting thing about Obed, the son of Ruth and Boaz, is that Obed was the son of Jesse. And Jesse was the father of David, which makes Ruth a foreigner, a non-Israelite, an ancestor of Jesus, if we follow the genealogy. It's a very powerful and compelling story, well worth reading. It's not long. And it's a story that has a lot to teach us today. And it's all focused on just this one person, Ruth. Ruth, in Hebrew, means two things: friend and beautiful. Friend and beautiful. She certainly was a friend to her mother-in-law, Naomi, a devoted friend. And she certainly must have been beautiful to Boaz. But what made her a friend and what made her beautiful wasn't the outside of her. It was the heart. It was the inside, the soul, the spiritual aspect of her, the divine love aspect of her, which she represents. And it was a constant thing. It was not an up and down thing like she's nice this time and not the other. She was constantly this way. This is who she was. And metaphysically speaking, there is within us this same capacity. Ruth lives in us, this ability to be devoted, to be loving. And she's an example of loving devotion to the divine, to spirit, and to other people, to be a channel through which love flows. And we express Ruth-like qualities in varying ways. And we have it within ourselves if we choose to be that way all the time. It's a moment-by-moment choice to live from the heart and not so much from the head. And that's part of our human lesson, is to move from here to here. In Ruth's case, her loving attitude helped her deal with the facts of her life. She had to deal with her mother-in-law, a very embittered woman about all the misfortune that happened to her. And yet she stuck with her through it all, as if Naomi were her own mother. Naomi could have stayed bitter and overwhelmed, but you got to think that she was impressed by her daughter-in-law. She was supported in such a way that transformed her. And so she repays Ruth by kind of helping her out with Boaz. Put on the nice dress. Ruth is very aware of being a foreigner, a Moabite. But she does what Naomi says. She's gleaning in the fields. She's open to Boaz. Let's see what happens. There's an abundance of grain that they're given. They're provided for what they needed in a prosperity sense. And then later, in a much greater sense, being married to this landowner, this guy with the fields named Boaz. It worked out for her. And the word Bethlehem, where they came from, literally means house of bread. House of bread. House of nourishment. House of food. House of sustenance. That's what that represents in us. And the lesson here is that love is what nourishes. It's what sustains us. It's what gives us what we need as we need it. As long as we stay out of the kind of Naomi embittered self-pity and all that, so woe is me, I don't have anything, I'm in this lax state of consciousness. We got to stay with Ruth, because Ruth was connected. She was connected because she felt this sense of devotion, this connection to the one source. So Ruth is this shining example of unwavering love and devotion, an example for men and women for 3,000 years, an archetypal person of steadfast love, someone whose example and consciousness must have had an effect on the family tree, considering her connection. You got to think to David and then to Jesus. Her strengths were quiet, inner, selfless, egoless, willing to do what's best for all. And her story also flies in face of a custom of not marrying outside your group. What's called mixed marriages. It proves that mixed marriages are just great. They're fine. This notion of ethnic purity, of cleansing or what have you, it's a lot of BS, really. The Moabites and the Israelites were both Semitic peoples, as are Arabs and Jews, Semitic peoples. And if we're going to look at Moabites, you want to dig back into ancient history. Moab, the founder of Moab, was a son of Lot. Interesting. And it's kind of a sad note, but such ideas seem to be popping up today, causing a lot of pain in our world. There needs to be a little more Ruth energy flowing in our world today. All right. I know you're hungry. You want to get that potluck. We're going to do it in a moment. But before we do, I want to share a Ruth and a Naomi you don't know. But I know. Yeah, here they are. You see over on the left is Naomi Victoria Kjellberg Studebaker. And over here is Ruth Ann Martin Elster and her grandson standing behind her there. These are my grandmothers. How serendipitous is that to have grandmothers named Naomi and Ruth? Now, here's the interesting thing. When I was a little kid, I grew up in this town on Lake Michigan in northern Indiana called Dune Acres. It's just a village. It's actually a gated community. It was founded in the 1920s. My grandfather, who was the Studebaker, married to Naomi here. His name was Alden Koch Studebaker. Koch was his mother's name. Means cook in German. Was the contractor that built almost all the houses in that early area of Dune Acres, including the house he built that's still there. My cousin owns it. And my grandmother lived in it most of her life. If you visit the Indiana Dunes National Park, which is strung along the lake there from Gary to about Michigan City, there is in the middle there, near the town of Porter, the Chelberg Farm. Ever been there, anybody? Not yet. But the next time you're there, visit the house where my grandmother was born. It's a national park. It's always fun to go back and go, oh my, they really kept it up pretty well, didn't they? But she lived in this town of Dune Acres, as did me with my parents and my sisters. And also in this town was Ruth and her husband Leonard. I could walk to my grandparents' houses in 5-6 minutes from my house. There was Grandma Elster, and there was Grandma Studebaker, there was Ruth and Naomi for my first 10 years of life. I'm just sharing this with you. It's just a little anecdote. It's time to sing now. What are we singing? I know it's from the red hymnal. To Count Your Blessings, it's number 149. Here. No, it's called, did I do it wrong? My Source. It's called My Source. Sorry. Source of my supply, ready and good to multiply, bringing the substance I require, filling every deep desire. This I know, blessings flow, and my confidence in God will grow. Yes, I know, blessings flow, filling every deep desire. God has abundantly decreed, substance supplying every need, causing His riches to outpour, till every cup is running over. This I know, blessings flow, and my confidence in God will grow. Yes, I know, blessings flow, filling every desire. Prove ye and see now if I will, windows of heaven open till so many wondrous blessings pour. There won't be room enough for more. Yes, I know, blessings flow, and my confidence in God will grow. Yes, I know, blessings flow, filling every deep desire. Thank you, Alyssa and Charnel. And now we can all be channels for good for our ministry, Unity of Springfield. If you brought a donation today, we have bowls in the front and back of the church to receive a gift. If you'd like to give electronically, that's available. Just go to our website, unityofspringfieldil.org. Find the donate tab on the front, and you can give a donation. And if you're watching right now, there should be a link coming up on your screen. You can text a gift from your phone. Just 217-335-4121. It's easy to do. You can also mail us a check, write it out, mail us. We're here to receive checks, 417 East Cordelia, Springfield, Illinois, 62703. And now let's join together with our offering blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful. Amen. Let us now join together with our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let us rise, form a circle as we sing, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Have a great week, everybody, and be the best Ruth you can be. And if you don't know how to do that, we actually have a Ruth in our church right now.